Joining our discussion now, Senator Tammy Duckworth, Democrat from Illinois. Senator Duckworth is a former U.S. Army lieutenant colonel. Senator Duckworth, your reaction to former Secretary Mattis finally telling us what he really thinks.
Well, it's long overdue, but I'm really glad that he's come out and made these very strong statements. It's my sentiments exactly, and I will tell you that it's probably the same sentiments as most of the members of the military. They're absolutely appalled with what this president has done, and for him to have been enabled by the current defense secretary and this current chairman of the Joint Chiefs is really very, very troubling to me.
One former member of the military who doesn't agree with you on this is your Senate colleague, the Republican Tom Cotton, who has written a piece, an op-ed piece in the New York Times that has now created a mutiny at the New York Times of people working there objecting to it. The piece is entitled "Send in the Troops," and Tom Cotton is fully supportive of the Donald Trump idea of let's use the American military to police the streets of American cities, something, by the way, that the American military is not trained to do. They have absolutely no idea how to police New York City. But Tom Cotton is all ready to go along with Donald Trump on this, even though no one else is.
Tom Cotton is wrong, and it's a shame that someone who served in uniform, who swore the same oath the rest of us did, to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, would actually say something like that. But he's wrong.
At the New York Times, just to show you the reaction to this, Mar Gay, who is a longtime New York Times, works on the editorial side, she put out a tweet tonight saying that running this puts black people in danger and other Americans standing up for our humanity and democracy, too. She finds Tom Cotton's op-ed piece on this not only something that the New York Times should not have run, but that it is actually a dangerous concept to advance in this country.
Lawrence, I have to agree with her, but let's keep the focus on the commander-in-chief of our armed forces and what he has done here. The blame rests with him. Tom Cotton is a sideshow. What we have right now is the commander-in-chief of the United States military, the greatest military on the face of the earth, wants to send that great military in to police peaceful protesters who are exercising their First Amendment rights. And frankly, you know, our military is one of the last institutions that truly has the respect of the American people. It is also an institution that is probably one of the most diverse, with people of color, with black and brown troops at the very highest levels of leadership. This is a betrayal of them as well. And it's a betrayal of the troops to be put out there on the front lines every single day to ask them to do this. Military leaders need to stand up to this president. Every one of these guys, you know, Mark Esper, General Milley, when they went through the confirmation hearing, were asked, would you oppose the president of the United States, even if it costs you your job, if he tries to issue an unlawful order? And they all said, yes, I would risk my job. Well, you saw today Secretary Esper start to say that he did not agree with the president, that he was going to pull some of the troops back, but then he changed his mind right away. I guess he found sort of a backbone, but then lost it right away in the same day. But this is wrong. This is a perversion of what our United States military stands for. It is apolitical, and it needs to remain that way.
General Mattis makes the point that the only conceivable use of American military troops to occur within the country would have to come at the invitation of a governor, at the invitation of a state that was in some extraordinary and unusual circumstance. From the moment the president said this, I didn't believe it, Senator. I took it as Mexico will pay for the wall. I took it for Trump trying to sound tough to people who want him to sound tough. And I firmly believe from the start, he'll never do it. It'll never happen. But you're in a position where you have to deal with these things in a governmental position, not just from the sidelines like I do, where I can just throw up my opinion about it. Do you think that there's actually a chance tonight that Donald Trump could actually order American military troops to go into cities they are completely unfamiliar with, have no capacity to operate in, without the invitation of that city, without the invitation of that governor? Do you think it's possible that Donald Trump will actually order them to do that?
I think it's possible that Donald Trump will issue that order, My question is, will the leaders of the Pentagon stand up to him and say, no, sir, that is not a lawful order? It is on them to do so, and they're supposed to do that. All the people that would say no to Donald Trump, he's fired so far or have resigned. Men of honor, women of honor have left this administration. People who thought they could work with him, who thought they could moderate him, left long ago. What's left are exactly what I said, the lapdogs, who are willing to follow behind him in battle dress uniform and who are willing to order American helicopters to fly down low over protesters who are peacefully exercising their First Amendment rights. Where are the grown-ups at the Pentagon who are going to say no to this president?
Senator Duckworth, before you go, when you were serving in the military, could it ever have gone through your mind that the day will come, one, that I will be a United States Senator, and two, that I'll be calling the chairman of the Joint Chiefs a lapdog? No. And this is what Donald Trump has brought us to. I have the greatest respect for General Milley's service and for his long lifetime of serving this nation and defending our nation. But what has happened in the last 48 hours just boggles the mind. And I would never have thought that a flag officer, that a service academy graduate, Secretary Esper is a West Point graduate who swore an oath to not lie, cheat, and steal, nor tolerate those who do. Who would kowtow down to a commander-in-chief who was doing something that is blatantly not legal. Senator Tammy Duckworth, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it.